Hello, I'm your host Amnea, and you're listening to A Degree Further, the official podcast of the graduate school at Hood College, where we feature current students, alumni, and faculty who are innovators on our campus and in our community. In this episode, I'm speaking with Alex Dudziak, who attended and graduated from Hood's undergraduate school with a bachelor's degree in marketing and communications. Alex was a member of the Hood College men's lacrosse team as a goalie. He was a MAC academic honor roll all 4 years and started during his senior season. He had 178 saves and 43 ground balls. This past fall, Alex began his graduate career and is working on receiving his master's in business administration. As well as this summer, he announced he'll be coming back to Hood's lacrosse program for his 5th year. Hi everybody, and welcome back to another episode of A Degree Further. I'm your host Amnea, and today I'm sitting with current graduate student Alex Dudziak. So Alex, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you decided to start playing lacrosse.
Yeah, so when I was younger, in about like 3rd or 4th grade, that's when I started playing lacrosse. And then I started because my brother originally played. And then after seeing him do it, I was like, well, if he can do it, like I got to do it.
And what made you want to continue playing lacrosse at the collegiate level?
Yeah, so for me, lacrosse was definitely one of my passions in high school. And I definitely wanted to like keep going and play at the college level. And I realized around my senior year, like probably end of my junior year, that opportunity would be possible with just the results of my high school career so far. And I knew I would possibly have the chance at, playing at that Division III level.
And what made you decide to play for Hood College?
Yeah, so Hood was definitely one of the first schools to reach out to me. And then, I toured a few places, talked to a few coaches, and then I did a prospect day here at Hood College and really liked the school and the academics. And Coach Barber, of course, made me feel like this was a great place for me to go. So them being one of the first schools to really come after me, after I sat down and made my decisions, I felt like this was the best choice for me.
And what made you want to continue your education with the Hood College Graduate School and pursue an MBA?
Yeah, so for me, it really came down to having that extra eligibility due to COVID from 2020 and 2021. And I was, trying to figure out how to keep playing, and it was pretty easy for me to obviously want to keep playing the sport I love, and then the best avenue to do that would be, grad school here. And after talking to my parents and my coaches and some of my friends, it sounded like the best thing to do for me was to, use up that eligibility and get a master's degree here.
This past semester, you started your first semester as a graduate school, as well as fall ball for lacrosse. So what has been the biggest change or difference balancing both your studies and being a student athlete, especially at the graduate level versus undergraduate?
Yeah, it's completely different. This year is nothing like the previous 4 years I've had. So being a graduate student here at Hood, you have night classes. And it's a big change from undergrad. You have multiple classes a day, ranging from like 8 a.m. to like 4 o'clock during, the day. And at that graduate level, you only have one class a night. Usually you take like 3 or 4 classes. I'm taking 3 currently. So trying to find things to fill up that time in my morning and then, have class at night. And then with lacrosse, it was, that was pretty easy. With the days we had fall ball, it was like, all right, I'll wake up, we'll have a morning lift, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'll go to that. And then if we had a practice that day too, it was like, all right, perfect. Now I have something from, I have 2 hours right there that I filled up. You study in between that, and then you would go to class at night, and it was pretty good. But then the days that we didn't always have a team practice or something, it was like, all right, now I have all this extra time. So I have 2 part-time jobs right now.
And as you said, it was a big decision for you to come back and play a 5th year.
Yeah.
What made you decide to continue playing as a graduate student?
Yeah, I think if you look back last year on our season, we definitely like fell short in a few games, and it was like coming back. It was like, all right, like I have like these certain games marked that we lost last year. Is like, yeah, we want those back, and like personally, I feel like that's something I really want to like do is like beat certain teams before I like end my career off. Like, for example, we've never beaten Widener, and last year we had them within a 2-goal game right at the end. Came down to the wire and ended up winning. And then there was a few other games like Messiah, LVC, and then a few out-of-conference teams that like we kind of just let it go right at the end and lost. So definitely want some of those games back. And I feel like my performance was like some games where I played really well, and then there's other games that I was just not at the highest level I thought I could play, and I want to come back and end my career off with a really great season. So,
and I've seen some of your games, and you do some pretty cool things in the goal.
Yeah.
I've seen you come out a few times. I remember I just sit at the edge of my seat like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it definitely scare a few people with the way I play. I play a very aggressive style, and that's just the way I like to do it. So.
And you're hoping to receive an MBA here with the graduate school. So how do you hope that this degree will help you in your future career?
Yeah, so after I finished our season this past year, I was looking at jobs. Like I wasn't 100% sure yet if I was going to come back or not, and I hadn't made the decision. And I was applying for jobs, and the market for jobs is just so weird right now with COVID. A lot of businesses are not sure. Everyone moved to like working at home, and now there's like a lot of hybrid, and a lot of people are like pushing for people to come back into the office, and there's still a lot of uncertainty with companies on what they specifically want to do. So I feel like it's kind of weird going to the market right now with just a lot of uncertainty. Yeah, I wasn't really getting the feedback I wanted with jobs I was applying to. So I feel like getting a master's degree would definitely propel me over other candidates for jobs and help me reach another avenue of jobs I could potentially have.
So what is your new goal that you hope to accomplish while in the graduate school?
Yeah, definitely just open up more doors and avenues for me to go down. I think it's a unique position. I got to meet. I've only taken 4 classes so far. I took 1 in the summer and 3 and like currently, and I've already met so many more people. And they like in your undergrad, you meet a lot of friends and people you want to build relationships with and like that. But when you go to graduate school, you meet a lot of people who are in the workforce currently. Like most of my classes, there's a few people in their 20s, but then I'm in class with people who are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and whenever they talk, they're giving like real world examples of like how their businesses are doing certain things with them. And I think I've learned so much more, and you get more diverse responses from some of these people because they have so much more knowledge than I do already, because I don't have that 10, 20 years of work experience like some of them do.
And it's a really great social network opportunity too, so when you leave here, you have those connections.
Of course,
and you can reach out to those people. And as we begin to wrap up our time together, what is something you're most looking forward to for your spring season of lacrosse?
Yeah, I definitely think this year is going to be a great year for us. I'm really excited to have another full slate of games, and I think a lot of people will be shocked with some of the results that we'll have this year. And we have a lot of young talent that's going to help propel us forward. And we have a lot of people that have aged now another year, so we have more knowledge of each other and how we play. So I think we're going to do really good this year, and a lot of people will be excited to see how we do.
And lastly, what advice do you have for those pursuing a graduate degree and being a student athlete as well?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a weird and like scary thing, because like you go in and you're like, all right, now I have if I commit to doing this, I have 2 more years of school, and I have to take all these classes that are some would say like harder. And yeah, it's definitely a challenge, and your day-to-day life is going to be a little bit different. But if you have that passion at all to keep playing your sport, and you can find a program that will fit your needs, I think you should 100% at least try and look into it more. I was definitely a little bit nervous, like when I first was digging into trying to figure out like if getting a master's was something I could do. And after a semester, I feel like it was by far the best choice I could have made. And it's definitely fun to keep playing. And, if I didn't have the opportunity to use up these last 2 years, I feel like I would have regretted not playing and using up all my eligibility by the time like it runs out. So for me, it was pretty easy to want to use it up. So yeah.
Well, I wanted to thank you again for sitting down and meeting with me.
Of course.
As well as kind of bring it kind of full circle. The graduate school's tagline is to go further, and we don't have many graduate student athletes. So the fact that you were able to continue your athletics and your academics with the graduate school shows how students here can also continue to go further in not only their academics, but in their athletics as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for listening to A Degree Further, the official podcast of the graduate school at Hood College, where we help you go further in your life, in your career, and in your community. To catch up on all the latest episodes, visit hood.edu/a degree further. I'm your host, Amneya, and thank you for listening.